Hey there, Ben Bierce here with Brave Investigations. Welcome to an in-depth exploration of cell sites and networks, made for attorneys engaged in civil litigation, particularly those navigating the complexities of commercial vehicle crashes. In this video, we will take a look at the following: a brief history of cell phones, how cell phones work, cell sites, sectors, and leveraging the data. The aim of this video is to equip legal professionals with a knowledge base to harness the potential of cell phone record analysis and historical cell site data in their civil cases. To truly comprehend the significance of cell sites and networks, let's take a brief historical overview. The concept of a wireless network, characterized by hexagonal cells covered by antennas, was proposed by Douglas Ring of Bell Labs in 1947. A single antenna tower would cover 3 cells. In this figure, each of the 3 hexagonal cells would represent a sector, and the tower would be in the center. A network of towers would look something like this. Fast forward to 1973. The first cellular phone call was made by Martin Cooper of Motorola to his rival, Joel Engel of Bell Labs. This historic call, made in New York using a Motorola Dynatac 8000X, marked the dawn of cellular communication. The evolutionary journey of the cellular networks is punctuated by key milestones. The first 1G network was in Japan in 1979. The first U.S. 1G network was in Chicago in 1983. The first 2G network was in Finland in 1991, and the first text message was sent in 1992. The first 3G network was in Japan in 2001, and the first 4G network was in Finland in 2009. The first 5G network was in Qatar in May of 2018. And the first U.S. 5G networks were Verizon in Houston, Indianapolis, Los Angeles, and Sacramento in October of 2018. Understanding this historical context is foundational to approaching the world of cell sites and networks. Cell phones are essentially sophisticated handheld radio transceivers. Unlike traditional radios that use a single frequency for both transmission and reception, cell phones utilize separate frequencies for these functions. The orchestration of this communication happens within the cellular network, comprising of several components: the mobile station, which is the cell phone itself; the base transceiver station, or BTS, is the cell site, or the tower. The base station controller, or BSC, is a coordination and control hub. The mobile telephone switching office, or MTSO, or mobile switching services center, MSC, is the switching facility for network connectivity. The public switch telephone network, or PSTN, is the legacy copper telephone network. Consider a scenario where an AT&T cell phone calls a Verizon cell phone. The call navigates through the AT&T cell site, the BSC, and the AT&T switch, known as the LAC. Once it's determined that the receiving phone number is on the Verizon network, the call is then routed through the PSTN, then the Verizon switch, the Verizon BSC, and finally the closest tower to the recipient's cell phone. Cell phones are dependent on the cellular networks to function. Carriers keep records of the cell phone communications for billing and maintenance purposes. We can obtain the records the carriers maintain in the normal course of their business and leverage them to our advantage in our investigations. Cell sites can be found in many configurations, with the tower being the most prevalent. Some carriers ingeniously integrate cell sites into existing structures, such as buildings, water towers, or electrical towers. Others deploy creative disguises, making cell sites look like trees or flagpoles. Let's take a look at the specifics of a typical cell site configuration. This tower is a monopole design, and each level represents a different carrier. There are 3 levels on this tower, and each one represents a different carrier. The ground equipment resides at the base of the tower. There will be ground equipment for each carrier having a layer on the cell tower. In this case, the tower has antennas for 3 companies, so there are 3 sets of ground equipment at the base of the tower. Some carriers, like Sprint, deploy equipment in gray metal cabinets without data plates. AT&T, on the other hand, typically employs shelters to house the ground equipment, marked with branded data plates. T-Mobile and Verizon have their own identifiable equipment and characteristics. These nuances are crucial for any investigation involving cell site data. Legal professionals should strive to survey each tower critical to their case, paying special attention to those used around the time of the incident. The concept of sectors plays a pivotal role in understanding how cell sites function. Most cell sites have 3 sectors on each layer. Each layer of the cell site comprises 3 sectors, each forming a triangle with antennas facing in different directions. Visualize this as slicing a pizza into 3 equal parts, with each sector covering about 120 degrees. When viewed from the top, the cell site can be conceptualized as a pizza with each slice representing a sector. The typical orientation involves Sector 1 facing north or northeast, Sector 2 facing southeast or south, and Sector 3 facing southwest or northwest. Mapping these sectors involves drawing lines from the cell site at an angle halfway between the sector's direction and then the directions of its neighboring sectors. The horizontal beam width information in the records, if available, can also be utilized for accurate mapping. This example would represent Sector 3 if Sector 1 was facing north. This detailed understanding of sectors is invaluable for creating precise visualizations in the mapping phase of an investigation. In the realm of civil litigation, especially cases involving commercial vehicle crashes, leveraging cell site data can be a game changer. Attorneys armed with an understanding of cell sites, networks, and cell phone records gain a strategic advantage in presenting compelling evidence. Consider reaching out to an expert to ensure that the process of obtaining, analyzing, mapping, and reporting the cell site data goes as smoothly as possible. When undertaking an investigation, legal professionals should consider the following steps. 1. Obtain the records. Records with cell site information require a proper legal demand, such as a subpoena. 2. Analyze the records. Compare the records to other data known in the case to determine if the records are valuable. The records may show one party in the crash was on the phone or texting at the time of the crash, or the records may show that one party was not in the location he or she claimed to be at the time of the incident. 3. Mapping the data. Visual representations of the location data contained in the cell phone records can tell an impactful story. In some instances, cell phone records can show the paths drivers take over long distances. 4. Report the findings. Disclose the findings to the opposition and the court. This disclosure may come in the form of a report, expert testimony in a depo, or hearing, or other means. Good cell site data can motivate the opposition to settle quickly. In conclusion, the multifaceted world of cell sites and networks holds a wealth of information that can significantly impact legal proceedings. Attorneys navigating the digital landscape must recognize the uniqueness of each case and stay abreast of advancements in cellular technology. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me through my contact form on my website, braveinvestigations.com. I would appreciate the opportunity to speak with you about your case and how digital forensics can help. In the meantime, stay safe and have a great day.